Namaste and Hare Krishna. And today we are Vivananta Vrindavan and Manish Vaghela, one of the prominent photographer of Vrindavan. So today we're going to tell the story. We're going to talk about telling the story. Welcome, Manish. How are you doing in Bombay?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, everything is good here. How about you back there? How are things
We,
with you?
yeah, I'm doing okay. I mean, Australia is okay at the moment, and I'm actually not doing much travel because of that. But today we want to share with you some of the skills we have. And as you know, Manish he's very prominent photographer, which covers Vrindavan and as the most prominent holy place. I myself also try to do that. So today we're gonna talk about telling the story. We're gonna talk about photography as telling the story. Why? Because it's important not just to have a snapshots, but actually tell the story through the photography. So I'm gonna give a word to Manish, and maybe he will start the conversation, and then we can ask each other a question, and we can try to reveal this to you. We can try to share that skill or secret of how do you tell the story through the photography. Manish?
Sure. So, Prabhu, actually, I have so many questions today to ask you because we've been seeing your pictures and getting inspired. A lot of people being getting inspired, and a lot of things that you speak through your pictures. Uh, like I've seen some shots, silhouette shots. Then I've seen some shots while you've been traveling to so many places, and you kind of bring out the essence of that particular place. So, what I wanted to know is, first thing, how do you get inspired first thing to capture so many uh, things at the same time? I mean, so many, like, if for example, if you take Himalayas, or for example, if you take Vrindavan, how do you bring out so many colors and so many sides of or aspects of a particular place, and what drives you to do that? I mean, you're always into getting so many beautiful pictures, moods, and different, like for example, if you're in Rajasthan, you kind of get that feel of Rajasthan. If you're in Himalayas, you get the mountains and people out there, the colors and everything. How do you do that? Like, I just want to know that.
Well, thanks, Manish, for asking these questions. And actually, that's the same question I was going to ask you. But since
Oh.
you asked me first, I'm gonna share my realization, my thoughts on the question. Look,
Sure.
being in the arts to photography, it is art. There's no really right and wrong. There's so many ways you can do it, but we have to really have a look. What are you actually like when you take a photo? It doesn't really matter at this stage if you're taking a photo with the iPhone or if you're taking a photo with the professional like $5,000 camera. The thing is, what you really want to do is to capture something which will then affect people's life. And normally it's a story, because if you look at the whole life, it's a story. It has a beginning, has the end. So in the same thing, any photograph needs to reveal some story, and in each story, there will be the main character or the hero of the story. I always remember one of the my most prominent experiences with photography in a holy place when I was standing in Krishna Balaram next to the altar, and I was holding my camera. I was taking pictures of the deities, but then I saw the older lady. She was a pilgrim, and she came to see to have a darshan of the Lord, and she was looking at the Lord, and she was crying. The tears was pouring. So, and then when I saw that, I started trying to capture that, and then like I was so absorbed into the trying to capture that. I saw when she was crying, and then I also have some kind of a reflection of that emotion she had. And I think the photography, it's like a reflection. We have to capture that reflection. We have to capture that, so then the people can see that later, that the emotion, the eyes, the action, the character. I mean, of course, sometimes we're telling the story by capturing something like objects, or the landscapes. But there's always a way to capture that by telling the story. Like if you ask me about different places like Badrinath and everything, like when I went to Badrinath, the Badrinath is there, but then when you see the people of Badrinath, when you see the sadhus, the people who pilgrims who walk, who drive on these buses, like they go through so much austerity just to be there. And when they arrive there, you see them, they captivated by that place, they captivated by that energy, they try to absorb that energy. And when you look at them, they reflecting that Badrinath in them. And then when you try to capture how they preparing, they to go inside the temple, or when they coming outside after the darshan, and they're blessed by the Lord, or when they relaxed in the hot springs, or when they're walking. And of course there's some local people, so all capturing all that. Actually, I'll give you the example. Like if you look at the like ants, for example, like ants on the
Hmm.
ground. Like you, for example,
Sure.
we are so big compared to ants. So the ants, they have their own life, and we have their own life. So how do we how, I guess the key to capture something is to go and enter their life. So if you want to capture like ants, you have to become an ant. You have to start seeing what they seeing. You have to start seeing the surroundings of that. So if you want to capture, you have to become absorbed in that place. You have to kind of how to say, merge with the, then you have to feel the mood. And then once you start, when you start that, and you start seeing things. Actually, I think for me, the story is always there, that you can capture the photography, you can capture amazing shots. But the problem, people not seeing it. It's not because it's not there. They just haven't been trained. They haven't trained their eyes. They haven't trained themselves to see those things. That's what it is. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna ask you the question, because I know you don't like be shy. If you look at your Facebook, there's amazing work. Like you capture and then you
Sure.
edit, and then you bring up this beauty, this mood of Vrindavan. So please
Hmm.
tell me. So when you start capturing that, when you start working on like image, for example, for Madan Mohan, and how do you like, where do you get that inspiration? Where do you get that story? Like, how do you like? Please tell us a bit about this.
Uh, Prabhuji, honestly speaking, you may think that I am just saying this because you're in front of me, but there are a lot of people involved in me going there and taking pictures and then editing them and putting it up. And I think one of the person, one of the uh, uh, inspiration that I have in my life is obviously it's Anand Down, that is you. So I look at your pictures and I kind of visualize and then go out and try to somehow try to get that sort of feeling that you actually put in. You put in so much. So it's you. I get inspired from I look at Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada's dedication, and the way he has actually given what he's given us is so valuable. So I think sometimes that I should go out and I should probably become one tiny little try to become one tiny little drop of or what Srila Prabhupada has given us. So uh, trying to bring out Vrindavan and showing it to people. So yes, looking at your work, looking at so many other photographers in ISKCON, they're doing so much in order to bring Braj and in fact their photography and what they feel and the reflection that you said to people, and somehow connect them to Krishna consciousness by their work. Uh, so yeah, that is what I kind of go out and I get this inspiration to do what I do. And so far, creating something, I think Vrindavan is such a beautiful place where, if you look at it, from that perspective, Everything there is so beautiful and so unique, because I stay in Mumbai. I'm born and brought up in Mumbai. So if I go to place like Braj, things are so different. They are so beautiful for me. Out here, I just see skyscrapers, and huge buildings, and cars and things like that. And when you go there, you actually see the real beauty. You see uh, kids playing in the mud. You see villages. You see colors. Very vibrant colors. So somebody needs to actually capture that, and somebody needs to put it across to people. So yes, I really like, and I get inspired by a lot of people. A lot of people, and I see Maharaj's pictures. Even Indra Maharaj, His Holiness Indra Maharaj, he's such a great photographer himself. Uh, so yeah, Prabhu, that is what I feel. This is what I get inspired from.
So we see this one of the photos the Manish Prabhu took. So can you give us
Prabhu,
a like?
I like to tell you that this is not Vrindavan. This is a replica of Vrindavan, which is in Maharashtra. It's in Vada. It's called Govardhan Eco Village. So
Oh,
yes,
okay,
yeah, this is basically, it's not Vrindavan. It's a replica of Vrindavan, which has been created here in Maharashtra.
sure, but it looks like Vrindavan.
Hmm.
You made
Yeah,
it to look
it
like
looks like
Vrindavan.
Vrindavan. Yes, Prabhu.
So can you
So,
tell a little bit about this picture? Like, I mean,
uh,
what's the story behind this picture? Like, like not a story how you took it, but actually the story. What are you trying to say with this picture? Like, as the creative person, like, what can we see here? Like, what do you want to share with us? Like, by telling us, like, if we go through this picture.
See, what I feel is, in this picture, I don't see anyone here in this picture. I'm talking about people. So, and if you see Vrindavan pictures which were taken in maybe 60s or 70s, uh, it was so much, the development had not taken place, and things were so beautiful. There were no roads, and there were trees, and then it was full of colors and things like that. So here, what I see is, I see the same kind of a feel. So you can just see a path going to its Madan Mohan temple, and then you have all these trees, and then the greenery and things like that with the sky. So that's what inspired me to take this shot, uh, because it was without people. I mean, I like Vrindavan, the old Vrindavan that you've seen. I think you've seen those pictures, the old pictures where Srila Prabhupada used to walk, with his disciples towards Madan Mohan, and then you don't have anything, it's just a bullock cart, coming, and then even Srila Prabhupada walking, and then you have this beautiful Madan Mohan temple with trees, and then Yamuna flowing on the side. So I sometimes feel, Prabhu, that I wish I was there during those days with the cameras that we have today.
So basically, what can we just say? When you look at that, it reminds you of
Mhm.
Vrindavan, and then basically the story which you're trying to tell us is, the place Vrindavan where people come to be very, how to say, to united with the Lord. They are there with the Lord, and the Lord is is there with them. It's like a like you know how to say darshan, where the people are um, becomes alone with the Lord in one sense, where they absorb so much they can't really see the external things.
Sure, sure, Project. Yes, 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 definitely, Project. I think Vrindavan is a place where you kind of, once you go there, you forget everything else, and you get into it. I mean, you just get lost in the the aura and the surrounding of the mood of Vrindavan. So yes, Prabhu, that is what I think. Even your pictures, when I look at them, they have that mood. I've seen you capturing, even capturing Vrajvasi. You captured the mood, you captured their happiness. You try to show it to the people that how happy they are there in Vrindavan. How do you do that? How do you get those faces? I mean, how do you get that glow on their face? I see your pictures. I've seen some Brajavasis. They really enjoy, when they're there in front of the camera. Uh, it kind of talks. It kind of gives out a certain message that people, you don't have to be in New York, or you don't have to be in some really high developed country in order to get happiness. How do you get that? Like, you're always telling stories. Do you look out for it? Do you walk? Do you decide, okay, I'm going to go to this place, I'm going to get this thing, or it happens by its own? How does that happen? I want to know this one, because I need to
Um,
capture something like this, what you've done. Yes, Prabhu, sorry.
sure. I'm just opening one picture which I'm gonna share with everyone just to show you one picture which I like, and which I took, and it kind of tells the story a bit. Um, then we can talk about that. I'll try to answer that question.
Hmm.
Just a second. It's coming now. Here we are. So this picture, I don't know if you see it. Can you see that picture? So that picture, I took. Um, why I like that picture, and this is a really good example of telling the story. Look, um, it's it's see, the thing is like this. Let's say if you would be just standing there in a courtyard, you see the lights, you see someone has bound down. It may not be like so much of the effect, but when you try
Hmm.
to become an absorb into that, like we talked before, you become an ant to enter the ant ant. Like
The world, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So like here I try to enter, and I try to become you become like part of this. So and then it becomes obvious there's like there's a mood,
Hmm.
there's a specific mood, there's a specific activities, action, the way the people do things, the way they which we represent certain mood, and then we can capture that. And of course, here for example, I use the like a foreground background, so you can basically tell a story. Like if I would tell a story, I'll say, when we come to the Lord, we offer them the lamp, and the lamp is our heart, is the lamp is our soul, the lamp is our life. So we offer the lamp, and we put the lamp in front of the Lord. So we try to do that offering,
Oh,
and then basically
sure.
then the person in the back, he represents the surrender of ourselves to the Lord, like that. So basically we offer ourselves to the Lord by giving
The
ourselves
mood,
to them,
yes,
like
yes,
that.
yes.
So it is artistic capture,
Mhm.
but basically that's the story, like that. So when I try to capture something, I try to have the meaning. Okay, so if let's say if there's an ant crawling, then what I want to tell by photographing the ant, I want to tell the story. Okay, this is little ant, but means maybe he's very strong or something. Or if I capture the like something else, um, even if it's a tree, like I
Mhm.
try to capture it so I can tell the story. I mean, if we just capture, sometimes you drive or you walk and you see this beautiful, like for example, sunset, but there's like you can't tell the story, because even if you take your phone or whatever, you take the photo of the sunset, most of the time there will be something distracting, or something in the frame which will distract people. So then you have to think, oh my God, it's so beautiful, but I cannot capture it. I cannot capture, because you can't tell the story. So but when you like prepare yourself and you found, you did the homework, for example, you
Mm,
went to the hill, and then
mm,
and then you're
mm,
waiting for the sunset, and then you have the hills, you have maybe like a little bit of like like a cold air, like creates like a how to say, like a smoky type of ground. Or you see some the person like coming back from work, from the like from the fields or
mm,
the
mm, mm.
cows. So you think, oh, how do you capture? Because that's the thing, there's we so many things, beautiful things, but it's about the capturing it. It's about understanding, how do I capture that beautiful sunset so it's actually beautiful? Because if I just take a picture of that sunset, it's okay, but it doesn't have the story in itself. So the story is relationship of the object, relationships of the people, relationships of the people and the object, like that. So that's basically, that's what it is, like that. So yeah, so I hope I can answer, I answered your question. But I think, you know you're amazing photographer, and I look up to you as inspiration. So next time when we have this meeting, I really want to ask you very technical questions, so you can help and reveal some of your technical things to our audience. So is it okay? Manish, Prabhu, can you hear me? I think we lost the signal there, but thank you, dear viewers, for watching us, and I hope there was some inspiration, something helpful for you. So we're gonna have this regular things, and hopefully you will get some benefit. You have, hopefully whatever we share can be beneficial for you. And we will capture, we will talk about some technical photography in the future sessions. Thank you so much for watching. Hare Krishna.